to Kenyatta Hobbies. I'm Kenyatta. Welcome to my channel. Today is my weekly testimony. I didn't film for a little while because I was having storage issues. I'm still having storage issues, but I'm going to push through. And today I'm going to start off by sharing a scripture from my King James Version Bible that just encourages me. It's from Philippians 4:13. It says, I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me. And that is so true. That is so true. Take these off. I have been, sometimes people assume that when you decide to give your life over to Christ or, get your life back right, get redeemed, you have no problem. Everything's going to go all great. But that's not the case. You still gonna have your storms, you still gonna have your troubles. And that's exactly what I have been facing. Been facing some choices that I've had to make that during the last few weeks, I lost my best friend. I mean, he's alive. We're just no longer friends. And back in the day when that happened, we stopped being friends. I was crushed. I cried and cried and cried. But this time, it was like I felt free because I was already questioning the friendship. But but he was somebody that I depended on, somebody I trusted, somebody I leaned upon. And during this week, I was taken to a food and clothing pantry, and they had taught a little message about when God chose Moses to go before Pharaoh and lead his people to freedom out of Egypt. But Moses had all these excuses, like, I'm not the one, I can't talk right. He had all these excuses why he wasn't the guy for the job. But God asked him this oddball question, in my opinion, When I first heard it, I thought it was odd, but it had meaning. He said, what's in your hand? And Moses was like, a staff, because that's all Moses saw was a staff. But God saw something different. God saw something that Moses depended on. Moses trusted in. Moses leaned on to help him stand. And God wanted all that from Moses. He wanted Moses to lean on him, to trust in him, to put his faith in him, to lean on him to stand strong. So so God could have just snatched the staff out of his hand by force, could have called down any winds and thunder and lightnings and knocked it out of his hand, but he didn't force it out of his hand. He asked him, throw it down. And sometimes, a lot of times we got to make choices that we don't like, that we don't think is good for us, but God knows it's good for us. And so I had made the choice to give back my phone. He had gave me a month to give it back. And I was like, no, you can come get it today. And I was like, I told my sister, I'm going to trust God. I'm just going to trust God. I'm going to trust God. That's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to let this linger on. I have been questioning the friendship anyway. And it was time for it to expire. And I had put this man on a pedestal for years. He was my best friend. We had the same birthday. Thought this was my soulmate. And God, I just feel like I need to put that faith in God. I need to put that kind of dependence on God and lean on Him, and trust in Him. And that's what I'm starting to do in this new journey. I'm trusting in God. And when this Bible says I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me, I was able to do that because I trust God. I trust Him. And I've been able to push through the difficulties. I've been able to push through the difficulties that come because God gives me strength to. And that's my testimony this week, that God has been with me through some challenging times this week. I'm not telling you everything. There are some challenging times, and I think that's going on for a lot of people because I know within my family, there's a lot of struggles. There's a lot of struggles. And I've been encouraging them too, but to the best of my ability. I've been encouraging them too. So, but I just thank God that I've been able to continually trust in Him, lean on Him, and I'm able to say thank you for seeing me, for acknowledging me, and even when I made mistakes, I'm able to accept correction. You know, I just thank Him for seeing me, for acknowledging me, giving me the strength, giving me growth and maturity. He's been so good to me. He has been so good to me. And remember, this is my testimony. I'm not poking fingers at nobody else. And I'm not judging nobody else. I'm not calling nobody else out. This is my journey. This is my testimony. And I do these videos to encourage others. So if this video hits you in a way, that's great. That is great. That encourages you in a way. That is awesome. That is my goal. But I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to point fingers. I'm only here to share my journey and to share my truth. Share my truth. Because, God is making wonderful changes in my life. I'm asking Him all the time to lead me down that narrow road of righteousness. I'm asking Him all the time to give me wisdom and give me guidance, because I choose Him. I choose Him. I choose this walk, And I was just telling somebody the other day, we was talking about when I be doing my walking, and I just keep telling myself that I'm walking in my victory. I'm walking in the victory of my health. I'm walking in the victory of my spiritual life. I'm just walking in my victory. This is my journey right now, walking in my victory, because I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And then, that's my testimony. It just that I am still pushing on. I'm still holding on through all the mess that's going on, all the struggles. Because when God told Peter to walk on that water, He didn't stop those winds and the waves. He's just like, keep your eyes on me. Keep your eyes on me. And when Peter looked the other way, and he fell into the water, Jesus reached out and grabbed his hand and got him right back up. So when you fall, when you get distracted, just look for His hand to pick you back up. Lean on Him. Trust Him. He's not going to stop the world. He's not going to stop the talk. He's not going to stop what people think. He's not going to stop what people judge you. He's not going to stop life from life. He's not. But He said, trust Him. Trust Him. Keep your focus on Him. And sometimes that's hard to do, because this is a distracting world. This is a distracting world. And man, there's a lot of nice things in this world. A lot of nice things in this world. But do all that, He wants you to be that staff. He wants you to lean on Him to stand. He wants you to trust in Him, depend on Him. Have faith. Have faith. And and that's all I got to share today. That's my testimony this week. I'm just feeling great. I'm feeling awesome. Today is Saturday. I'm recording this the day before I post this. But I'm feeling great. I'm feeling great. As I said in my last video, I went to the doctor and I did start insulin about, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I took my 6th dose today of my insulin. And I went to the doctor last week, and they said my numbers, my sugar levels, blood sugar levels, has dropped down from being type 2 diabetes back to pre-diabetes. So I take that as a win. I thank Jesus for that. And I'm going to keep walking in this victory. I'm going to keep walking this victory. And sometimes it gets hard. Because, they did increase it to help. Now it's supposed to help curb the appetite, because my appetite wasn't curbed all this time. It was just me trying to be disciplined, trying not to eat. But the water does help. Because a lot of people ask me, a lot of people say, dang, that's a lot of water, when I say I drink a minimum 96 ounces of water a day. I never understood why people just insisted, drink your water. It does help you not be hungry all the time. it does fill in those gaps, and it keeps you hydrated, and hydrated keeps you healthy. So there's a purpose of drinking a lot of water. You can do your research and find how much water you need for your weight. I was told to drink at least 96 ounces because I was only drinking one of these a day, if that. But she told me to increase it to 96 ounces, and I've been doing that. And sometimes I drink more. Sometimes I'm thirsty, and on a real hot day, you just get real thirsty. But yeah, but I'm thankful. I'm thankful. It's been benefiting me, and a lot of people were asking why I choose to drink only water, and it's because if I start flavoring my water, I'm not gonna want to drink just water. I'm gonna want to drink juice. I'm gonna want to drink teas. I'm gonna want to drink stuff that has taste other than water. So I don't mix nothing into my water. I just drink straight water, and they didn't say I can't drink anything else, because they even have at the doctor's office, they even have Splenda and a sugar-free I think Crystal Light packets to put in your drink water. But for me, I have to be disciplined. I know me. If I start flavoring my water, if I start drinking a lot of other stuff, I would not want to drink the water. And the water is really benefit me. So that is why I've chosen to just drink water right now. I will eventually drink more other things, but right now I'm just going to stick to the water. And that's just for me. Everybody ain't got to do that, because everybody may not have an issue like me, not being disciplined. But it's one of the things about me. If I change my routine, I get off track, and it's hard to get back on there. It's a struggle. So I got to keep the same routine. Thank y'all for taking time to watch. I hope y'all stay encouraged, and I will see y'all next week. Bye.